on that kind of stuff. So you can get the slides, the PDF deck of the slides. The second reason you want to do that is I've got a whole lot of slides that are just hidden because I'm just going to hit some highlights in the time allowed. We want to have enough time to deal with the material and do Q&A at the same time. So you can get the intermediate or the rather hidden slides of that. And also, by the way, I'm almost as used to being in front of a classroom as I am speaking in just public venues. And so I'm conditioned to take questions as we go along. If somebody's just got a question burning in your bosom and you think it can't wait to the official Q&A. Yes? Yes, I happily will. RichardGHowe.com. RichardGHowe.com. And if you forget it again, just hopefully can remind you there. So I'm pretty open that if something's not clear, you got a question or whatever, you know, and because there's a small enough group of us that I think we can just kind of casually run through the material and deal with it. And that usually to me is more productive and it makes better use of the time than trying to save it all to the end, because you know what happens? Speakers never like to end. So invariably what would happen is I would talk so long I'd bite into the allotted Q&A time and then you wouldn't have enough time stuff. So I'm not going to go through the roster of popular atheists here for the sake of time. You'll see what some of those are as we go through. Now, when I list someone or quote someone here as a popular atheist, please be aware that I'm not implying that the person is not a scholar. It may be that they're not a scholar. That is, it may be that they're just a sort of an amateur in the subject. That's possible. So the only kind of writing they could do on the subject is, quote, popular. But it's important to me that you know that I know that some of the people I'm quoting are scholars in their own right. So what I mean by listing them here in a discussion of popular atheism is one of two things. Either concerning the issue of God, it's either going to be the case that the person is not a philosopher. Well, why would that matter? Because I'm going to try to argue before the night's out that the question of whether God exists or not is by and large a philosophical question. What does that mean? That means that the issue can only be assailed along the contours and templates and categories and methods and tools that characterize the discipline of philosophy, whatever that is. Just like if we were trying to say, well, gee, we're not sure whether the former planet Pluto itself has a moon. And so we want to get into a discussion about that. But we realize, but that's an astronomical question. So to settle the question about whether Pluto has a moon or not, Pluto has a moon or not, then we would have to build the tools of the astronomer, right? So I just mean that there are some people that write about the question of God's existence that they're not really philosophers. And so they don't really have the capacity to be anything but popular about it. Or they may themselves be philosophers, but they choose to write in a popular style in the aforementioned. All right? So what are the arguments of popular atheism? What I've done is catalog a handful of arguments into three categories. And if you don't like the expression popular atheism, what I'm meaning here is you could almost call it bumper sticker atheism or t-shirt atheism. Why? Because as you will see, a lot of the arguments and are really one-liners that I'm going to respond to, you actually can get on a t-shirt or a bumper sticker. Now, I'm not critical of atheists putting their ideas on t-shirts and bumper stickers. Christians do this all the time, right? Jesus is my co-pilot or something like that. And so there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. It's often a conversation starter or it's a thought stimulator. You're sitting at a red light and somebody reads your bumper sticker. You guys seen the coexist bumper sticker? You guys seen this, right? I've got a contradict bumper sticker on mine that makes the claim that the different world religions are contradictory and they can't all be true. So again, just like the coexist tries to stimulate a thought, hopefully my contradict sticker stimulates the thought. It's always fun to be sitting at a traffic signal and looking in my rearview mirror and you see people going, they're trying to read what it is and figure out what's going. This is funny. Go, yeah, I guess you're trying to read my bumper sticker. I appreciate that. All right. So t-shirt, bumper sticker, popular atheism. I've cataloged them into three broad categories as we look at these. They are rhetorical arguments. which by and large are just clever plays on words, are turns of phrases, and some of them I actually think are pretty clever. Some of which I haven't even had time to include in this presentation. I still run into new ones along the way. So I catalog those as sort of just rhetorical. You'll see a few examples in a minute. And then more scientific, which means that the thrust of it is something to do with one of the natural sciences, where they're playing off some concept in science and leveraging that against the belief in the existence of God. Or we can just push the wrong button and make the thing that that woke guys up. So in the meantime, I've got a little song I'd like to sing for you. That'd be cool. I should do that. Should work that right in like a lounge lizard and stuff. Are we okay, boys? If you don't think I need to, I don't have to use my PowerPoint because I don't care whether they see it or not. I just look at it myself. So I'm talking tonight on no signal. Wouldn't it be